Hey everyone, it is Kerry with Trail Traveler, and this video is for content creators. If you are filming in national parks for your own personal archive, your own personal videos, this is not for you. If you are going to make a video and put it on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, some other social media platform, then you need to watch this. So we are talking, like I said, about filming inside of national parks. Now, I've talked about this before when we shot in Canyonlands National Park. Tyler from Independence Overland recently talked about it on his White Rim Trail video. But I want to get into some other aspects of this and how to make sure that you are legally filming inside of a national park. So what does it mean to film in a national park, and what does it take to do it, right? Well, as I said, if you are putting it on some social media platform, somebody is making money. Now, whether you're monetized or not isn't relevant. If you're putting a video on YouTube, they're going to run ads on it and they're going to make money. Therefore, that is a commercial endeavor. According to national park rules, you need a commercial film permit for that. Now, this may change in the future, and if it does, I'll do another video. There's an act called the Explore Act, which is trying to make some of this more clear on what you're allowed to do and what parameters need different types of permits. For now, the rule is you need to have a permit. So you can contact each national park that you wish to film in, tell them what you want to do, and you may or may not get a permit to do it. There is another way of filming legally without a permit, and we will get to that in a little bit. But let's talk about what the rule says, right? So if you go to certain national parks and ask for a film permit, some of them are going to be very friendly. Some of them are not going to be friendly at all. Now, my experience with Canyonlands National Park was extremely positive. In fact, we've done it several times where we have called, we've talked to the people there, we've explained what we're going to do, we gave them our entire agenda, what the plan was, the size of our audience, all that good stuff, and they were nice enough to waive the requirement for a permit. That's great. That was super helpful because the permit process was something like $250 just to apply for it, which was non-refundable, plus an additional $250, I think, for the actual permit. So it could have cost us $500 to film inside of Canyonlands National Park, but they were gracious enough to work with us and not require that. Now, another example is Death Valley National Park. I know people who have gone through the process to get approval to film inside of Death Valley National Park, and they were told, sure, no problem. You have to pay the application fee, you have to pay the permit fee, and you're only allowed to film in these two specific areas, which happen to be parking lots. You're not allowed to film in the park as a whole. Talk about restrictive. That was absolutely insane. Now, another example, let's go back to Canyonlands, was a backpacking channel who wanted to do some filming in there, gave the park his agenda, and because of where he wanted to film, which was near some petroglyphs and things that were considered pretty sensitive to the park, they said, sure, but you cannot list the GPS coordinates of those locations, and in order to make sure that you are following the rules, you need to have a ranger with you at all times at a cost of $50 an hour. That was just simply cost prohibitive for him, and he did not do it. So, different situations, different application of rules, all kinds of stuff. Always check with the park. Again, we're going to get to an exception to this, so bear with me, right? So if you're following the letter of the rules, you need to contact the park, probably go through a permit process, and pay the the fees and then be told what you're allowed and not allowed to do. So that being said, that is the process that up until now we have followed to the letter, and we have been very fortunate enough to be able to work with different federal agencies in order to secure either a complete waiver of it or a permit to do it at no cost. That's great. Not every park is the same. Some of them are very, very restrictive and will just flat out say no. So that being said, is there a way around this? And the answer is yes. Now, I'm going to refer to my phone here because I've got some notes and some quotes that I want to give you and make sure that I'm being completely accurate in how I'm representing this. So in June of this year, 2024, the Blue Ribbon Coalition secured a preliminary injunction stopping the federal government from enforcing its commercial filming permit and fee scheme against Blue Ribbon and its members. This is an important distinction. Now, first off, let's talk about who Blue Ribbon Coalition is. They are a nonprofit organization that is taking legal action against the National Park Service and other federal agencies to keep trails open, to allow us our freedom of speech, to go and do these types of films and videos. They're protecting our rights. That is what Blue Ribbon Coalition is all about. Now, if you watch pretty much most of, if not all of, our adventure videos, if it's us on a trail somewhere, you will most likely at the bottom of that video on the app or your phone or whatever, you'll see a little button that says fundraiser. Now, if you click on that, you can give a donation to the Blue Ribbon Coalition. This is something we've been doing all year long, and we will continue to do to help raise money for the Blue Ribbon Coalition. This is something I am extremely passionate about, and I work with them every chance I can to promote their stuff, and I'm going to point it out right here. If you can, if you don't plan on filming in a national park and you don't want to join their coalition, that's great. Please go to one of our adventure videos, our trail videos, and make a donation. Doesn't hurt me in any way if you donate. It doesn't take it away from my YouTube revenue. It simply goes directly to the Blue Ribbon Coalition, and that is something that I worked with YouTube to get set up, and I'm very proud of that. And some other channels out there have joined that as well. So if you see that, please make a donation to Blue Ribbon Coalition. They really need the help, and it is to protect our rights, not just in filming, but also to keep trails open, like the over 300 miles of trails that were closed recently in Utah. They're fighting against that. So, and not just Utah, all over the country. So, excellent group. So, based on what I read to you, it says if you are a member of the Blue Ribbon Coalition, they cannot enforce their commercial filming permits on you. That's pretty darn big, I would say. Now, to become a member, you go to blueribboncoalition.org. You can become a member for $5 a month. I think I paid $50 per year, I think, for my membership. I'm going to read a quote from Ben Burr, the executive director of Blue Ribbon Coalition. He says, "The decision to grant this injunction is a victory for Blue Ribbon Coalition and its members. Government restrictions on speech need to be narrowly tailored and adjusted to keep up with the times, especially in the age of social media. This ruling reinforces that the First Amendment protects our rights to film and share our outdoor adventures without undue government interference." So, as I said, a legal, judge-ordered injunction allows you, myself, and other creators to be a member of the Blue Ribbon Coalition and legally film inside of national parks. Well, gotta say, $50 a year is significantly cheaper than having to pay permit application fees, permit fees, and go through all the headaches of dealing with some of these national parks. The ones that are great, like Canyonlands, awesome. I would prefer to work directly with the park to make sure that, you know, they know what we're doing and that they approve of it and all that. But we have another way of doing it, and that's being a member of the Blue Ribbon Coalition. So I will put a link below in the description to an article that explains this in more detail, so you can check it out and decide for yourself if A, the Blue Ribbon Coalition is something that you want to be a member of, and if not, if you would just want to give them, you know, some support, there is a fundraiser button down below as well, and you can just donate some money to help their cause. It is very well worth it, and I highly recommend everybody participate. This is not just about protecting me going out and filming, it's protecting you from having trails closed and protecting your freedom of speech to document these public lands. These are public, they belong to us. We should be able to use them and enjoy them as well. So that is my take on this. There are the two ways of going about being legal in a national park. You can go through their process, as painful as it may be, or join the Blue Ribbon Coalition and you're set to go. Wave your membership card and say, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to film here. And some of the parks already know about it. And if you tell them you're a member of Blue Ribbon Coalition, they're just going to be like, okay, fine. Yep, we understand. Thank you very much. So it is a good way. Now, Blue Ribbon Coalition didn't do this as a member recruitment, you know, scheme. They did it to help protect rights. And they're not very vocal about this particular aspect of their membership. That's why I want to point it out, because it's something that benefits me and other creators and pretty much everybody out there who may just want to just post a fun video on YouTube. That would be commercial filming. So be legal, do the right thing, do it the right way, and if you choose, join the Blue Ribbon Coalition and help support our rights and our trails. Thank you for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was some information that you can use to make sure that you're being safe and respectful out there. And we'll see you on the trails.